Starting with today is this build built around not a Marvel card, Moonmist, common from Innistrad. This is a 2-mana instant that says transform all humans, prevent all combat damage that we dealt this turn by creatures other than werewolves and wolves this turn. So the idea is a lot of these new little humans, they're really cheap up front. They have a high mana value on the backside. They also do other stuff too, like Bruce Banner. I think we're gonna draw some cards off Bruce Banner today. 1 mana 1/1, XX tap, draw X cards, activate only as a sorcery. And on the backside, it transforms into the Incredible Hulk, an 8/8 reach trampler. And if it's dealt damage in combat, you get to take an extra combat step. This is mostly just if your opponents block it. I do think it's possible you could be more of a teamer deck, and you're really built around Bruce Banner. But my main, and I do think this is the best card to Moonmist because it's just a nice 1/2. Although it's a big problem that Moonmist fogs your combat damage. So we'll see how that plays. Now, maybe you wouldn't just have this be like a 2-card combo, but at the moment I'm interested in pairing it with some other Transformers. We've got Jennifer Walters into the Sensational She-Hulk. It's like a Voice of Victory on the front half, which is actually a really nice line of text. Stops your opponent from being able to counter your Moonmist. And then it transforms into a 6/6. Your opponent still can't cast spells on your turn during the transform, and whenever it's dealt damage, deals that much damage to any target only once a turn. You've got Aang's Savior, which is a card that I think is actually just very strong. It's a card that we've had a lot of success with over several different brews. And it transforms into a 5/5 reach trampler. Wherever it's attacked, you put a counter on each tapped creature. And then King T'Challa. King T'Challa is actually a little bit better than I thought it was. For some reason, I didn't realize it triggered on yourself. It says whenever a player draws their second card a turn, you draw a card. So if you crack a clue, you draw 2 cards, flip Tamiyo. That's kind of interesting. Preordain draws you 2 cards. And then also it turns into a 3/3 double striker whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. And also all combat damage is prevented by it. Also play a couple wands, partially to have a mana sink for the Mox Ambers, and we have a little bit of an instant speed game plan with end of turn Moonmist, end of turn Wan, end of turn Aang. Um, so wanted a little bit of wands as card advantage / playing into that. Sideboard is pretty boring, and but Tamiyo buyback Moonmist is big. Oh, and then on Tamiyo, so I want Tamiyo for the Mox Ambers, and I want Tamiyo for some card advantage. Tamiyo not being a human is good. Okay, you might think, oh man, I can't transform it. You do not want to transform Planeswalkers with Moonmist because they just die because they have no loyalty. But Tamiyo is not a human; it's a Merfolk wizard. So thankfully, you're not going to transform it into the Planeswalker. So I got a lot of stuff to get to, and we got to get to it by Thursday. I'm leaving Thursday night to go to SCG Vegas to play in the Team Sealed event, Marvel Sealed, and I'll be back to stream on Tuesday. So we're gonna be streaming. I really want to get to the 11 decks I've posted in these 3 days. That's maybe easier said than done. People always expect testing to go really fast. Testing always goes really slow. No Peter Parker as another way to cheat into Hulk. Okay, I guess I'll bite. What is Peter Parker transforms creatures? Explain why 5/1 transform Tamiyo kills it. So, let's imagine Tamiyo was a human. If you transformed Tamiyo with Moonmist, then she would transform as a Planeswalker with 0 loyalty, and then she would die. You can airbend Bruce Banner and cast the Hulk for 2 mana. Wait, does that work? That's really funny if we have that accidental combo in this deck. Alright, my life total's not going to matter too much against Storm. I think I'll grab Breeding Pool. Okay, well, that's an awesome happy accident. Maybe we should be playing 4 Aangs. Still not the most mana efficient, but let's see. And then I'm reading Peter Parker here. Each legendary spell you cast that's 1 or more colors has in web. So if you transform this, then you can cast this stuff from your hand. Seems kind of weak. Very mana intensive. Let's say we didn't use Moonmist, because that's kind of the idea. It's 2 mana, 4 more mana than another 3 mana. Seems like a bit too mana intensive to be a big part of the plan. Yeah, I've been drinking these poppies a lot lately. They've been pretty good. This one is my favorite flavor too. The ginger lime. Okay, so well, maybe we're gonna be dying after we printing the ruby. Can you kill Ral with Moonmist? I think so. Yeah, I actually think that works. Okay, Moonmist is broken. They hit 2 wishes off of the Ral, which they currently can't do anything with. Then they hit a Manamorphose and another Reckless Impulse. Two very good hits. Okay, so we've got Miles Morales. Put a counter on up to 2 target creatures, not very strong, and then transforms into First Strike Haste, 2 mana, put a Hexproof counter. Whenever you attack, double the number of counters. A lot weaker on the front side than the other options. I don't know. Could be okay. I'm definitely down to like make sure that we have they hit 2 rituals. Oh my gosh. Tough to die on. Well, maybe we're not dying. Maybe I don't know. But it's definitely tough to die on turn 3 after you kill the Ruby on 2. We are a Force of Negation deck. We've got a couple of Soulless Jailers in the sideboard too. Not feeling too bad about the matchup. So the wishes they do have to spend mana on. They have 6 mana, so they could wish for a Grape Shot, but they can only Grape Shot for 12. I guess they can go Flashback Ritual. Yeah, that gets them to 14. Yeah, they go Flashback Ritual. Thank you, Wake. Oh, I think I missed some subscribers too. I want to thank your Jakey Nightmare for the 67 months. ATX Roy with the 15. Uruk with the 23. Sarasium with the 32. King of Verdillion with the 23. And Wake with the 21. Okay, we are getting Grape Shotted. Might have been like, maybe I said I wasn't going to get punished for Fetch Shocking here, and I got, I maybe would have been able to live. Not that I would have been that likely to win, I guess, if we untap. Also have a couple Spell Snares in the deck. Might sneeze. Excuse me. So endings, maybe I'll play like 1 Pick Your Poison, maybe not. I think I'm gonna cut the She-Hulk. I think they seem not so good. King T'Challa I like that King T'Challa has flash and pitches to force. This seems like a fine configuration. We could possibly play some Disputes. I actually have like Dispute as just 3 mana leak against Storm sometimes. Although I don't mind this config. I think let's do this config on the play. Did they have enough to flashback Grape Shot anyways? That's true. No. So they wouldn't have had enough, I think, to go wish Grape Shot, flashback Grape Shot. Yeah, I didn't realize Airbending Hulk worked. It's funny that we just already were playing Aang. It's possible you just want to play 4 Aangs. Aang's a really good card, and all of a sudden you have that like big upside of Airbend the Hulk. Airbend T'Challa, Airbend She-Hulk. It's like still pretty mana intensive to do that, right? But I think it's nice to have the option. Okay, Hearts of Mulligan, a Force of Negation against Storm. And it's cool to have the Moonmist. My opponent's got Gemstone Caverns. My opponent may be a have it aller 160 streak. Roro, I notice you. I witness you. Can we play Rest in Peace? You could play Rest in Peace if you wanted to. I feel like the mana curve is pretty important. Seems enough better than the average card, I guess. But that would be fine to play. They pitched a Ritual. They play a turn 1 Impulse, which will let resolve. They hit a land and a Ritual. I think I'm supposed to play the Tamiyo here. Moonmist Tamiyo flavor combo. This Moonfolk erasure. Oh, the moon. I see. I got it. With Aang, you can use it to cast Transform Temples. You can. I mean, it's not. I don't think it's a very good strategy, but it is legal. They hit a Arid Mason. They hit a Ruby, so we're probably gonna have to force the Ruby. So they say they hit Mountain, and they have the Arid Mason for this turn. Yeah, Moonmist against Ral is like hilarious. They don't play the Ruby this turn. That's interesting. Maybe they have Orum's Chant. You know, I definitely didn't. It is okay. Yeah. It just is gonna kill Ral every single time, no matter how many instants and sorceries are cast. I wonder if it's coded correctly though. So they graveyard a copy of Ormus Chant, implying that they already have a copy here. They played the Mountain. So I think we're going to go airbend the Chant. And then if they want to cast the Ruby, they're going to have to cast it this turn. It will be. It's a Planeswalker Zero Loyalty that's just baked into the programming. I don't know how we can feel so confident that we know how the Magic Online coding works, but I appreciate the confidence. Dang, there's Bruce Banner. So I can flip Tamiyo. I could play Bruce Banner this turn. I think we'll just flip Tamiyo since we won't be able to transform Bruce Banner and attack with it next turn because of the Moonmist Fog. There's no way a client will let a zero loyalty counter be the battlefield. I don't know. I just don't know how anyone knows how Magic Online works. I don't know how it works. All right, so they have another Ruby, unfortunately. At the mercy of their hand. They ritual again with 3 cards left. They're going kind of slow, so it's not like they just have Past in Flames. Famous last words. Jazzix with the 17 months. Thank you. Welcome back. I feel like if they're taking this long, they probably have a copy of Wish, but wouldn't they just wish for Past in Flames? So that can't be the case. If Tamiyo is Moonmisted dies. No, Tamiyo is a Moonfolk. Tamiyo does not get Moonmisted. Moonmist only transforms humans. Obviously, Tamiyo is a Moonfolk. Look at her hair. All right, so now I guess they're just thinking if they had enough mana to Orm's Chant or not, and then they wish for Past in Flames. And it looks like we're gonna be 0-1. I guess that very good Storm draws. Okay, well this hand is awesome, especially with Force Up to protect the combo. I think if this hand goes terribly, we need to be reassessing. May just get Leyline Scioned. And we're on the draw against the Leyline Ragavan. Not good news so far. Would have been nice to be on the play. Classic. Yeah, things are going well. I hopefully I'll be the plan is to announce the game at the beginning of December, and we're gonna be doing a pre-order system that will hopefully be available early March. And this is kind of assuming things don't go wrong, but why would they? Why would they? You should have tapped this, right? Is 89% hypergeometric probability enough for the combo? Dude, they didn't tap the air base and then they just pass. It's funny. I guess I don't know. Like, is 89% like is this to have in how many cards? And then like one thing with the Moonmist is you don't need to have it super early, and sometimes you want to set it up to have it with multiple creatures. Right, so this is a fog. We should be doing this now to fog the Ragavan. We have Force of Negation up 2. I got nothing left after this. The Incredible Hulk concedes the game. All right. Let's fucking go. The game would have been probably a lot worse if my opponent had just tapped their Ed Masons of the treasure token. I'm going to be bringing in the taps of the Picker Poisons. I'm going to cut the Force of Negations. Maybe I'll go down. I feel like Jennifer's actually pretty good. I'm going to have a lot of disruption. Maybe down to T'Challa. I think down to T'Challa makes sense when we have the taps. I think Aang is better. You can airbend the Leyline of the guild pack sometimes. Yeah, I think that looked pretty good. Oh, also the factor code should be working now. It was not working yesterday. It should be working now. 50% off your first box and free meal, free breakfast for a year. I love having Pick Your Poison. This hand is good if we draw a blue source. Probably needs to be in the top 2. So I guess we'll just go to calculate that one. I think we're going to be a little low. So we 1, 2, 3. I think it's too many misses to even calculate. Actually, just go to 6. Okay, hand's looking better. I actually think I'm going to put back the island, which is a little bit weird, but I really want to go turn 1 Tamiyo with Snare up, and then I want to have Moonmist for my Moonmistable creature. So it's just like, I kind of have to play like this. They have another Leyline Ragavan hand. Leyline Aerodmacer Ragavan. Any thoughts for a High Noon plan for a deck like this? You could play High Noon. I think it's a fine sideboard card. I don't know that it's just that's a totally normal sideboard card to play for sure. So hopefully they cast Territorial Kavu here. Interesting that they are attacking. Don't think that there's. I mean, I'm blocking every single time, and in every universe I'm blocking here. Then they've had another 1-land Ragavan hand. So we did draw a land. That's good news. We didn't draw green mana for Moonmist. That's bad news. Maybe should have brought in some consigns. We have the Teferis and the Pick Your Poisons for the Scions. Oh wait, I forgot to add consign to the sideboard. How come I never see you run Strict Serenade or Swan Song and see them a lot and pretty often? Is there a reason? I mean, I mostly just don't think those cards are that good. I think sometimes you can play them. Yeah, Opal only taps for green if the Tamiyo's flipped, but that is maybe a way we could make green mana. This ain't Commander. So it seems like I should Aang my my She-Hulk here, so I could just cast the She-Hulk for 2 mana next turn. Isn't the Rag too free life for them? Not necessarily. If I block it with She-Hulk, the Ragavan just dies. Okay, so if I Moonmist Aang, I can Moonmist Aang attack, and then they bounce off of each other here because of the fogged combat damage, and then I could potentially continue to attack going forward. Although realistically, I'm just gonna have to find a. I guess I should have left a double snare, but realistically, I'm gonna have to find a Pick Your Poison or Teferi to get out of this. Can't attack. I can attack. Moonmist prevents all damage dealt here. And so I'm doing this so I can get the counter on the Aang. And the next turn, Aang will be a 7/7 to attack through their 6 power first strike wall. They play an untapped Steam Vents. They missed the 2 life here, or they're playing around something, I guess. Cannot snare fast enough, although maybe we're going to get punished for not leaving up to second if they have a stub. Thankfully not. Let's Surveil. We see a Preordain. Probably going to be a good time to flip the Tamiyo. I guess there's not really a way for me to get a clue. Because this is a sorcery. I think I'm just digging for Teferi or... Teferi or Pick Your Poison, but I will... Oh, that's right, this is Reach. Right, this is Reach. We'll just leave it back. I don't like that their hand is like full of spells for sure. And they keep a card on top. Don't like that either. Missed Bruce there with buyback Mist. Well, I can't buyback Mist this turn, and so like that would be like if we thought for sure we were gonna keep Tamiyo around, which might have been a fine attitude to have. I think I'm gonna play one more T'Challa over an Ending. Ending's a bit worse on the play, I think. Maybe I actually want to go down a Snare, play one more Ending since this mostly just hits Kavu. Could also hit Doorkeeper Thrall, but Ending's a little bit more versatile. I think we could keep this on the play. Would probably have to mulligan on the draw. With Aang, you could splash Bring to Light to cast the back halves as well. I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna play Bring to Light at this deck. I guess that's what BTL is. Yeah, I forgot to add the consigns. Like we need to add them. This is kind of what happens when you build 11 decks. Sometimes the sideboards are rushed. Yeah, She-Hulk Flipside has reached 2. They don't have a leyline this time, thankfully. We have a 1, which I would like to hold up. Okay, I think I'm going to hold up the 1. They just play so many fetch lands. Damn. Probably good to be patient. Yes, we have flipped Bruce, and they conceded to it. Where can you see the decks you brewed so far? Why, at moxfield.com/user/aspiring-spike, of course, where I post all of my deck lists. It's kind of crazy for them to have not fetched it all. I guess end of turn will run out the Wan and kind of, or maybe they'll trade it for a binding, which would be a good trade for us. So maybe I can go Aang this turn, and I kind of like the idea of main phasing the Aang to play around Consign. Just like slow down the Scion here. Although I guess end of turn would slow it down more. Maybe not with the Arena. But then I could try to go maybe Preordain into Bruce, into Moonmist, both of them. Yeah, I think I just want to play around Consign. I think it's a card that makes some sense for them to have. So we're misting on opponent's turn to fog the damage and flip. It's instant. Yes, that's the general plan. I know it's early. Aang feels like the clunkiest human. Flipped Aang doesn't feel powerful enough. I mean, I don't know. Aang is a card. This is not the first time we played Aang. I played Aang in a ton of decks and like. Why did this cost 0 to play? Oh, because it costs 2 less. Oh my gosh, dude, Aang's so bad against Scion. This is not my first rodeo with Aang though. Aang has been a card I have played a lot of, and I think is quite good. And Aang also can transform your other guys. You can Moonmist your guys, and you can cast the backside. Like I'm even thinking that we should maybe just have 4 copies. Yeah, bad against Leyline too. So main phase of the T'Challa, so I could try to draw an extra card off of it. We'll see if they have something. They get another Plains. And they have a 3rd Binding. Okay. Not ideal. Not ideal by endings against the Scion here. I did board 1 out. So I'm down to 10. They've got 3 cards in their hand. Okay. Maybe I Moonmist main phase. Okay, now I'm going to ending. Because I don't want to be Moonfisting and let them Moonmisting and transform it back for them. Yeah, but they have the bolt. Bummer. Fun Raveler. So I could bounce. If I bounce Leyline Binding on T'Challa, do I get to draw an extra card? I think I do. Bouncing this Binding and airbending the Scion, they won't be able to haste it because it costs 0. So I would be able to buy some life here. I think that's probably good. I find a Flooded Strand. I'm really not going to try to fetch Shock here. I am out of Surveils. Maybe leaving Green Man up was better. Yeah, we'll see if they have Binding the Teferi or the Aang. They do go after Aang. And they play a Flooded Strand. Okay, this is enough to trade with the Scion in combat and kind of 2-for-1. Should Domain Zoo be playing Tribal Flames again, I wonder? Yeah, kind of an upside that the Scion was free, so they couldn't haste it. Okay, now we've got a Moon Mister. London Sill with the 25 months. Thank you, welcome back. And they play a Temple Garden. They pass the turn. Awesome. Hopefully they draw some Prismatic Ending targets. Dr. Raptor with the 10 months. Thank you, welcome back. So they fetch down to 16, which means 2-turn clock, although they have a Surveil. They put a Flooded Strand in their graveyard. My heart's beating. They're hasting something. Hasting a Scion. So unfortunately, we are fogging this, but fortunately, we can fog this also. But we're not able to block effectively. Make sure that works this way. Dang, the 4th copy of Leyline Binding is pretty annoying. What the fuck? And then we draw a land. So we may be drawing some cards with our friend Bruce Banner. We have 2 Aangs, 1 pick your poison, or 2 pick your poisons, and 1 Teferi left. So it seems like we are just going to draw 2 cards. Okay, we find an Aang. They graveyard of Steam Vents. Oh, you know what? Sorry. They are just going to be able to haste this, although I can block. Okay, they Consign, so it's fine. Either way, we're just jumping. That was their last card. Oh, they top deck the Scion. Or Kavu. Yeah, okay. Okay, tough game. Let's make some changes. I think I already want to make some changes. I think I want to play the 4th copy of Aang, which I think means going down to Chala for mana curve considerations. I think I kind of like the maybe I'm just gonna cut the Wan. Maybe play one, 2 T'Challa, 3 She-Hulk. The thing is, like, the curve of She-Hulk into Aang seems pretty good. And then we get the consigns on the sideboard. I think we'll probably cut the Veils into Disputes. Why do you drop from leagues after 2 losses? It's more interesting playtesting, more interesting content, and you don't really sacrifice much in EV. Yeah, I want to keep the Teferis in. She-Hulk and Teferi make me be more on counter magic. I think we've got a good amount of counter magic as is. Could play a little bit more. Can maybe go down on Mox Amber. Yeah, Force did seem pretty good. I'm a little bit worried about our lack of card draw, but maybe Bruce drew a lot of cards that game, so yeah, I think I want to go down in Amber. Teferi looked very good that game. I agree. Although we're just top decking, right? Maybe I don't understand how leagues work. Then you just play against the same near record. Yeah, so you put the quality of opponents drops when you're 1-2-0-2. Also, I get bored. Is the Seeker combo a magical line? I don't know what that is, but I think it's not. Someone mentioned it recently. Guess we mulligan. Okay, liking this one well enough to keep. I think I'll probably just put back the Amber. Don't really need it to like explode on mana here. Okay, they went turn 1, Eldrazi Temple. Okay, pretty good. Let's get a Portico. Probably Hedge Maze. Got double blue. Graveyard Moonmist. Giving up the game a little bit. Kithian is a 1-drop human that flips. If you Moonmist a creature that turns into a Planeswalker, it just dies. So play a Mind Stone. They make a spawn. My 2/3 She-Hulk does block the Fleshmaker. I like the flavor that she's a lawyer on the front half, so she's like the can't cast spells card. And then they dismember. Okay. This is a problem that they can still just cast this turn, but I think I need to Aang it. Yeah, these are nice. These are Strixhaven. Yeah, Aang is good against K-Command. One of the few things in Magic that is. How does Moonmist work on sagas, i.e. Joshua Phoenix Dominant? I don't know. Yeah, whenever you transform a creature into a planeswalker, it just enters it just has no loyalty counters, it just dies. Because it doesn't like exile then return. And so the Moonmist killing planeswalkers is actually an upside against like Ral Zarek and I guess technically a Johnny. Or sorry, not a Johnny, Soren. If only Johnny was a human, although I guess the card would be a lot worse. They take the Prismatic Ending after some deliberation, and then I draw a Prismatic Ending. Which I think I should save for the Fleshraker. I get to fog them, so it's just kind of a free attack. Witch Enchanter flips into White Source. Is that how that works with Witch Enchanter? I think it would. It's pretty wild, huh? Is it really a transform card? I don't know. I mean, it has a backside. Is this Devour? This is colorless. Yeah, I did say, but the investor meeting went well. We got a deal, and I am very happy. Excited to one day actually announce the game for real. I guess I'll concede to K Command. That's fine. Okay, so I'm gonna bring in the consigns. I'm gonna cut. I think probably both snares this time. Sometimes I'll leave them in. I like the endings well enough. The endings also kind of deal with what snare deals with. Aang is good against K Command. She-Hulk. The front side of She-Hulk seems pretty weak. What game engine is the game being developed with? Okay, I'll say this for the first time. It is a physical game, as we all may have expected. Beautiful hand. Let's keep. But I won't say another thing about it. We gotta wait for the full release and for everything to be a bit more real. And I'm gonna be scrambling, but I am excited. No, of course, no AIR at all. That's one of the biggest thing we need funding from the investor for is to commission artists. Well, I mean that and like marketing and production and everything. Lawyer stuff. It's expensive. Yeah, the physics engine is reality. Using reality. Yeah, no AR in the any of the art and any of the design of the game, any of the borders, all human made. Attack! So I think we let this go. Get the Hulk. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry, opponent. We just hold up mana here. First swing with Hulk. Yeah, we had someone concede to Moonmist Hulk earlier. Sure. We're just keeping our mana up. It'd be nice to hold Surveil to an untapped land so we have Aang plus Consign. They're casting the K command now. I'll make our free game. If we have any artists, you could email me at aspiringspike@gmail.com with a copy of your portfolio, and I can forward you to our art director, who is not me. Yeah, I do think there's. I am interested in playing a version of this with burn spells, but it's tough to include. They seem to be trying to K command a 7-drop. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. This has mana value 6. You can't K command it. Great. So I feel like this should just be fine. We'll just hold up double Consign. So this is just more interactive humans without the card advantage. I'd say this deck, I mean, there are humans in it, but that's almost where the similarities to that archetype end, right? Like this is a combo control deck, kind of. I don't know. It's hard for me to say you can't compare it to humans when the deck is built around humans. I'd say this deck is trying to get mana advantage instead of card advantage, right? 3 mana for this is pretty good. I think you could maybe play Aether Vial in this archetype. So I'm gonna go down to 7. At 5, they attack with the Fleshraker, and they should attack with it because blocking is death. They did put 2 cards on the bottom. They played an Eldrazi Temple, so happy to see no Urza's Power Plant there. Okay, I mean, the Hulk has Trample. I do not know what their plan is. Hulk Smash. Just see if it was coded correctly. Good strat. Okay, going to game 3. Cool one to win. Greenhouse with the 34. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. Gonna have to mulligan this. Gonna get to keep this one. I think I like the idea of keeping the T'Challa with the Preordain and the Bruce Banner. I guess some synergy here. Like if you have both of these in play, you can spend 2 mana to draw 2 cards. Pretty good. So play a turn 1 Mindstone. That's also very good. Is the overlay bugged? Yes, we are currently going to game 3, and we re-queued, so is bugged. So good news, I have Consign for the Karn. Overlay always gets a little bit bugged with new set release, I guess. Not gonna sweat it too much. I think I probably don't have the time to try to Preordain King T'Challa here. There's just a Preordain in my hand again, I guess. Yeah, I can get a text hand hider up. Chef Atog with the raid. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. My opponent made mana, so Seems like they're just probably going to try to cast Ugin next turn, which I cannot beat. So I guess I try to Preordain into Consign, although it'd be cool if I could go King T'Challa, Mox Amber, Preordain, Jolt 2, and then Moonmist next turn. I guess I'll represent Consign. And let's go to game or round 2. Yeah, I think I'm misremembering. All right, draw Moonmist. Yeah, Enduring Vitality, Shang-Chi, Squirrel Girl, Infinite Squirrels, infinite mana. Okay, we're on the draw against Storm, a match we lost to earlier. How do you feel about the Boros Ponza deck doing well now? Do you think Avengers Disassembled or Fing Fang Fu will make it better? Well, it's hard to imagine they make it worse. I think Avengers Disassembled seems like a really good tool. I'm kind of the opinion Fing Fang Foom is not really playable. I think we got all 3 Surveil lands. Scurry Oak. How does Scurry Oak tie into this? Whenever one or more counters are put on this creature, you may make a squirrel. Let's go. So last time we played this matchup, I ending their Ruby and then I died the next turn. And it actually looked exactly like this. Oh, so one thing that's very fun about this board is, or this matchup, is if we draw Moonmist, our Moonmist kills their Wraths. So I would love to get to do that before we move on. So I'm playing one copy of Fin Fang Foom in the sideboard of my. Okay, they just flipped their route for 6 of my Ruby Prison deck. Just gonna minus the route maybe. Yeah. You got a Past in Flames in the yard too, which is pretty scary. They have a fetch land. I guess I'm gonna play the wand this turn. Wondering about the life gain Spike Feeder combo with Oak. Wait, why would you play Scurry Oak with that? Might just minus the Ral again. I think kind of fine. Aang the Ral. We have all tap lands. They plus the Ral. They play a Ruby. Then they play a Ral, maybe mistapping. So one thing that's nice about Flashback is if Flashback always goes to exile. Although wait, if you airbend something, it goes to exile. So I guess if I airbend the Past in Flames, it doesn't stop it. Guess we're keeping that. I think Scurry Oak plus Guide of Souls plus Heliod effect wins. I guess the thing is, I don't love like the adding the extra thing, but might be fine. Okay, so Past in Flames always goes to exile. And when you airbend something, it goes to exile too. So I think they can just replay it, but I'm not sure. They can recast it for free with the cost reducers. I'm just not sure. Because like right now it's in the exile zone, but it doesn't actually show us if it's playable or not. Okay, it is. Okay. Let's move decks, I think. Deck seems bad. I had to get it out of my system, but I don't think that the Moonmist strategy, at least with this config, looks good. It's possible that you want to go lower and you want to be just Bruce Banner Moonmist, because that did feel fine. But I say I haven't been a big fan of the more expensive cards so far. Yeah, so I think definitely worth a go. I may rebuild with Bruce Banner, but I think I just want to keep it moving because we got a lot of stuff to do. Okay, so let's do Squirrel Girl, Shang-Chi, and then we also get a new piece here. So these are